Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how I do my eyebrows for cosplay. So I'm going to show you guys how I glue them and conceal them and how I redraw them on. So there's a couple of things you guys will need. First of all, I'm going to start by clipping up my hair. Um, I look really cute right now. So start with a clean face. I have some makeup wipes, just cleaned my face, and you'll be needing these later on, so get like 2 or 3 tissues. Further, you'll need glue. I'm using a regular glue stick from Bison. But you could also use Elmer's glue. I know that this is like a purple glue, and when you put it on and it dries, it becomes clear, so invisible basically. I've heard that that glue works really well, and I personally think that this glue works pretty well. What else you need is finishing powder. You can use white finishing powder or a skin colored finishing powder. Then you need a brush to apply it. Use something like a sponge brush or just a sponge. I have an old beauty blender, and for this one I used the back of my old beauty blender because the top is dirty, so use the back. You'll need concealer, and you will have to need your regular foundation. Okay. Um, what's also it's optional, but it's handy. Have a blow dryer nearby. If, for example, you're going to a convention and it's really early in the morning, but you have to make haste because you have to go to the convention, then it's easy to have a hair blow dryer with you. And otherwise, just use your tissue package and wave it really, really fast in front of your face to create wind to let the glue dry quicker. Anyway, enough awkwardness. Let's get started. So I already put primer on my face. That's the first thing I do. Clean my face and then I put primer on it. Let the primer basically set in and you're ready to start. To just gluing in my eyebrows, I'm gonna start from the middle to the side, and then I'm gonna go in the other direction against my hair growth and use circular motions so that I have every side and every hair that makes up my eyebrow. So that way, down, up, circular, just smooch it everywhere. So that you have every hair. So that's one eyebrow glued, and now the other. So as we're gonna let this dry, usually I do something like putting in my contact lenses or something else. I don't know, eat cereals. So I'm gonna use one of my makeup wipes and I'm gonna go on top of my eyebrow right here. Not on the eyebrow, but just above, to take away the excess glue. So when you're gonna put on your foundation, it doesn't blend really well when there's glue on your face. So keep the glue only on your eyebrows. So now I'm basically waiting for the glue to dry a little bit, so gonna blow this in my face. Okay, so it's fairly dry. Very carefully touch it to see if it's a little bit dry. And then I'm gonna take my finishing powder and my beauty blender, or well, whatever sponge kind of thing you're using. And I'm gonna just do lots of it on my sponge. This is why I prefer to use a white powder instead of a skin colored powder, because you're gonna be using lots and lots of it. So now I'm gonna basically jam this onto my eyebrows, like legit jam it, and push it in there. Be careful not to hurt yourself, but try to push it in as much as you can. So, and the other eyebrow. so again, we have to wait a little bit. I usually let this set for a couple of seconds. Now that the finishing powder has set in, I'm going to use a big fluffy brush to brush off the excess powder. So only the powder that is stuck in the glue and my eyebrow will remain. And then we're going to start all over again by gluing on another layer. Alright, so I forgot to mention that it's maybe good to have a little bit of water around, not for drinking, but just a cup of water maybe, or if you're in your bathroom already with water supplies. Alright, so now I have added, I've done about 3 layers of glue and then finishing powder, glue, finishing powder, glue, finishing powder. So for the last layer, I'm going to add the 4 layers today. If you have thin eyebrows, I think 3 layers would be enough. And if you have thicker eyebrows, 4 to 5 layers should be good. So now I'm going to add my final layer, the 4th layer, which is almost basically the same as the others, but with just one little extra. So again, I'm going to start with the glue. So now that I've added my final layer of glue, I'm gonna take the water and I'm just gonna put my finger in it like this, so, and get this drop off so that my finger is now moist, but not like really wet, just moist. And I'm gonna carefully brush it over. This is to take out any glue lumps that you have created after so many layers of glue. And the other one as well. Okay. And this will help create a soft and smooth surface as if you have shaven off your eyebrows. So I'm gonna let this dry again, and because I've used the water on it, it would take a little bit longer to dry. So so now that the final layer of glue has dried, I'm gonna again use some finishing powder to set it all, and then I can move on to concealing my eyebrows. So I'll brush this off. Now I've created a smooth surface that I can conceal and draw new eyebrows on. Take out the final excess bits, left and right. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with a concealer. I'm using a concealer by Catrice. It's an all-around cover stick, so you can use it for everywhere. For underneath your eyes, your nose, on your chin, spots in your neck, or for your eyebrows, right? Now that I've concealed my eyebrows, it still looks a little bit funny, but at least all the dark colors from my dark hair are gone. And now I'm gonna finish it off with some foundation. I'm not sure if you're interested, but I'm just using a Max Factor foundation. It's a 3-in-1 foundation, so it's concealer, foundation. Oh, and there's actually primer in it, but I'm already wearing that. So take just a little bit like you normally have, and your beauty blender, gotta make it wet, and just apply your foundation like you normally would, and try to take your eyebrows along with it. So as you're done with your foundation, or the best that you can do with your foundation, make sure that you've blended in your concealer with your foundations. I'm gonna use a little bit more finishing powder to set it all, and then we'll go on with drawing the eyebrows. So when you've set all of your foundation and your concealer, it's time to draw on the eyebrows. Okay, so for the eyebrows, I'm gonna use an angled brush, like so. If you can see that shit. And I have a eyeshadow palette from Catrice. It's a matte eye palette with different colors of brown, so I'm gonna draw on some brown eyebrows. When you're going to draw on your eyebrows, please make sure that you have an eyeshadow that does not contain any glitter or shimmer in it, and a matte palette is probably the best. You can use an eye pencil to draw on your eyebrows first and then fill them in, but since I don't like to move the concealer and eyeshadow around a lot, I'll just use my brush. So I'm gonna start in the inner corner. My own eyebrow starts here and follows this line over there. I'm gonna start a little bit closer to my nose, and then I'm gonna draw it straight. So now I've drawn on my eyebrow. Because I'm using eyeshadow, it sometimes crumbles onto your nose, so having a big fluffy brush around to just brush all of that away is very handy. So drawing your eyebrow is basically up to you how you want it. I usually draw my eyebrow a little bit longer than my own eyebrow is, because it will match my facial features better, and sometimes I'll draw it on a little bit longer, especially in the end. But if you have a wig which has bangs in front of your in your face, basically it doesn't really matter how long you draw your eyebrow, because it will be hidden underneath your wig. So I'm going to draw the other eyebrow as well real quick. So, and there you have it, your very own anime eyebrows. Concealed my eyebrows, and now I've redrawn new eyebrows on them. If you try this and it doesn't succeed at first time, please don't be discouraged. I mean, the very first time I concealed my eyebrows turned green, so that is something quite spectacular. Practice makes perfect, and I say have fun trying on and trying out different new eyebrows. So that was all. I hope you all enjoyed and that this was helpful for you, and see you all next time.